why teaching? Why is that important? Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. I'm Chris Yow Scott Stewart, coming your way from Pulaski in just a moment. Got a great show lined up for you. A visit with Mount Pleasant Mayor Bill White on Mayor's Corner. So make sure to stick around for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But right now, I'm going to tell you what was on the front page of Main Street Maury this week on the Wrap. On the front page of Main Street Maury this week, you'll find a teaser to the Main Street Awards tab, which is inserted inside of this week's paper. Make sure to pick up a paper and you can find out all of the winners and finalists. We've got pictures. We've got a list of all the folks that you guys voted for Main Street Awards here in Maury County. So make sure to pick that up. Also on the front page, an unfortunate story as the Columbia Central football team and the city of Columbia mourning the loss of 2022 Central High graduate Joseph Whaley, a Marine who was killed in a live fire training event at Camp Pendleton. A story on the front page there. You'll also find a story on an update on the Sleep Inn in Spring Hill. They recently went before the Board of Zoning Appeals in an attempt to reduce the number of parking spots that they were going to have on their property in Kedron Road. That was denied. A full story on why and some of the other issues that are pertaining to that. Also in Mount Pleasant, they are using some American Rescue Plan dollars for sidewalk projects and multimodal projects, actually, where they are attempting to increase the ability of folks to get around Mount Pleasant by different modes of transportation via walking or biking, etc. So a full story in the paper on that. And you saw a couple of weeks ago, Joey's Italian Ice is open downtown. There's actually a full print story on that as well. So make sure to pick up Main Street Maury, plenty inside as well. All Maury County, all the time. Also, sports coming up later with Mo and Wade. Right now, we'll go to Scott Stewart down in Pulaski with their wrap.
Hey everybody, it's Scott Stewart and this is the wrap for the Pulaski Citizen. Hey, if you haven't noticed, right behind me is the campus of UT Southern, where look, the students are coming back this week and we've been celebrating and welcoming them back here in our community all week long. We had a party on the square, we had fireworks here on the campus green, and welcome back to the students from the Pulaski Citizen. On the front page of the Pulaski Citizen this week, Judy Riggins has been with the City of Pulaski for 50 years, and she is our Citizen Spotlight right there at the top of the page. The County Commission met this week for more than 2.5 hours and got a lot done, including funding all the nonprofits that had made requests for funds. Now, not everybody got everything that they asked for, but everybody got something, and the County Commission did that and several other things. We've got some of that in this week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen, and you'll see more coming up in weeks to come. The Pulaski-Giles County Industrial Development Board has taken the first steps towards seeking a grant through the state that would help pay for a spec building down in Industrial Park South. The Tennessee Music Pathways dedicated a marker at the Giles County Library recently, and it's the second marker. Actually, the first marker is right back up here on the campus of UT Southern. This one was in honor of Edwin Craig of the Life and Casualty Craigs, the big LNC building up in Nashville, who also started the radio station that eventually launched the Grand Ole Opry. You can see that out in front of the Giles County Library. Elkton appointed a new mayor and a new alderman. Elkton Mayor Jimmy Dean Caldwell had stepped down. Ryan Gillen stepped in from the vice mayor's position to the mayor's position, and Steve Scott stepped into Gillen's position on the board. We got a lot of stuff this week inside, including on the Realtors page. We got a lot of new listings this week on the Realtors page. You need to check that on A2. We've got Linville Board of Mayor and Alderman, Minor Hill Board of Mayor and Alderman. We've got Giles County School Board. We've got a lot of great content in the Pulaski Citizen this week. Make sure you pick up a copy. Got all kinds of stuff that people love to see every week, including the church page, the Fun and Games page. we got obituaries, we got the property transfers, all the stuff you love to see and you've kind of gotten used to here in the Pulaski Citizen. Pick you up a copy this week. We'll be right back after this.
Having a good, confident smile and being able to portray that positivity to others is really helpful.
A professional family atmosphere is what we get every time we come here.
Our hygienists do a better job at kind of assessing mouths and coming up with plans than most dentists do.
They're very kind and they're very aware of other people.
I think if there's things that I would want you to leave here with, I want you to feel like you were heard, that we listened to you, and I want you to feel like that your concerns were addressed.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome back into Mornings on Main Street. This is Mayor's Corner, and this morning I'm with Mount Pleasant Mayor Bill White. Mayor, thanks for taking time with us.
Thank you. Thanks for being down here, Chris, and good morning.
Oh yes, it is a fine morning, and I'm walking around City Hall. A lot of new faces around here. Tell us about some of the folks who are new to the city in the last month or two.
Yeah, we've been very, very fortunate. Schiffer Cox came from Columbia, and she's now heading up our finance department, and she's doing a fantastic job there. Our budget was a breeze this year, and a lot of times those things can get pretty sticky, but it went exceptionally well. I already got it back approved, so all that was done. It was great. Chris Brooks, actually a former resident of the city of Mount Pleasant, was with Spring Hill, and he is now heading up our planning and codes and zoning for us. And Chris brings 20 years of experience. Schiffer brought some 15 years of experience.
Wow.
So it's great. It also gave us the opportunity by doing this and putting some of the new faces in places where we knew they could probably be successful, and they are showing it now. Philip Grooms, I always like to mention Philip and Kate. They work very closely together, the city manager and assistant city manager. And of course, Philip's our fire chief as well. So
yeah.
So we got a lot of folks wearing a lot of different shoes right now, but we have a great staff here right now.
Well, I mean, as you're watching city commission meetings, you can see it. I mean, they can go from an hour and a half to 45 minutes, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And that's just a testament of city staff doing a good job of making sure things are put in front of you guys correctly. So
Yes.
Glad to see them here. And speaking of city commission meetings,
Yes.
Obviously downtown revitalization is huge, and you guys have spent a lot of time on it, but you're taking the next step.
We put bids out, and we only received one bid.
Right.
And so we rebid it. The bids are due in the end of this week. We know that we've got a number of people that are going to bid on it.
Thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness. Because something else that we'll touch on here in just a few minutes is our upcoming celebration next year, and we would like to try to have all that accomplished before we do that. So it'll be about a year-long project.
Yeah. So and if that's the case, you said the 200-year celebration, that's next year. You got to get it started pretty quick.
They got us just about be putting shovels in the ground right now. So that's one of the things that we're really looking at is the start date for it. And we explain that to everybody during the bid process. We can't wait. We need to get moving.
And obviously there's outside things you can't control,
Right.
but anything that you can control as far as that goes is important. So making sure folks are ready to start working ASAP is important.
Yes.
Do you feel like these bids are going to be competitive enough that you guys can award one?
We're certainly hoping so. Our community's dealing with what a lot of the same other communities our size and even larger everybody's dealing with. Supply chain.
Yeah.
And of course that's driving prices up dramatically. Um, it's one of those that we are somewhat at their will, but it was made very clear during the bid process that this can't wait.
Right. Well, let's talk about that. One, there's a lot of things that tie into the downtown revitalization.
Yes.
Sewer project is ongoing at all
Yes.
times around here.
Yes.
But you mentioned the 200th birthday celebration. That's coming up in 2024, 200 years of the city of Mount Pleasant. That is fantastic.
200 years, October the 13th of next year, 200 years. It's something interesting. I'll step back for just a minute on it. I've got a book or a magazine from where the city did its 150. And around that table are a lot of the commissioners, or it was a commission meeting where they were discussing it. And the Jim Baileys of the world were around that table. One of that's very touching to me is my father was actually a city commissioner at the time of the 150th.
Wow.
So we're going to do this, and we're going to do it right. As we were discussing a little bit earlier, you only get this once.
One time.
You better do the best you can possibly do. So, as a matter of fact, we even have a meeting tonight about it. We've already been working on it for about 3 months. But we're now really talking it so that we can get a lot of people involved, because it's going to take a lot of hands. And we're trying to make sure that it's very inclusive of everybody in the community. We can't wait. We're just excited. We're probably going to have some small events all the way through the year leading up to the October 13th day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And obviously, like you said, one time only. So make it big, make it fun. I can't wait to see what you guys have planned.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you say small events. You guys have small events here all the time, but one of the cool things that I love to do is come down here for Picking on the Porch.
Yes, sir.
And it is such a unique thing where the Surratts open their
Surratts
for folks around the community, and not just Mount Pleasant.
Oh, no.
You guys are happy to invite anybody from Maury County, Lawrence County.
Please come.
Hickman County, Lewis County. You don't care.
We don't care.
Come on out, enjoy Mount Pleasant, and spend some time downtown.
That's exactly right.
With music. So.
And most all of those events are right in the very vicinity of the downtown on the square.
Sure.
So please get out and enjoy. We have a lot going on here now. We try to make sure we're doing something constantly for the community. One of the newest additions too that we have is Haverly Pennington. Haverly is now our new Main Street director, and she brings a wealth of knowledge to this job, a huge amount of enthusiasm. So we're really anxious. She's been on the job about 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we're anxious to work very closely with Haverly and with her experience, what she can help us with the birthday celebration.
Well, that's man. You just throw her in baptism by fire.
Yeah, baptism by fire.
Listen, hey, we got this thing coming. It's really important. We're going to need you to help us.
That's right. So
hope you don't have plans to ease in.
You got it. You're not.
There's no easing into it.
So it's exciting what all we've got going on.
Yeah, and so serious stuff. The sewer project.
Yes.
Obviously, with the downtown revitalization, it kind of ties into that because that's really how the downtown revitalization got started.
It is. Was
the sewer project needing to be updated. So tell us a little bit about that. Update us on what's going on and what people can expect over the next, maybe 6 months or so.
In 6 months, we feel like we will be completely through with the sewer project as far as the plant goes.
Okay.
The new chemical rooms, all that'll be done. The buildings are almost complete. And a big part of that, as you said, is the downtown revitalization for the sewer project as well, because we're going to replace all of the lines downtown. And so in trying to make sure we worked hand in hand with both projects, that's why we want to get started right now with the downtown revitalization and the sewer project simultaneously, so we don't have to come back and do one or the other later. So
Well, you're already digging it up. You might as well
we do it.
Do it all
Do
at
it.
once.
Yeah. And we've also got a new young man that we have here in the city that's doing GIS mapping, which we have heard from other communities that have done these type of projects that they wish they had done that. So he's actually on staff here, and we're finding some leaks. Frankly, when doing this, that was one of our goals with the whole thing, is to try to contain as many water leaks and have no sewer leaks. But and having that GIS mapping before you start digging in the ground is going to help tremendously.
Seems like you guys have got a lot on your plate for such a small town. You just don't realize that Mount Pleasant is, and you guys really aren't that small anymore.
No.
But you
No.
have the small town feel, and you don't realize it from the outside looking in how much is going on really on the backside. And that's one of the things we want to do here at Mayor's Corner and Mornings on Main Street, is tell folks, there's a lot going on in your community, and so we want to make sure that you guys are kept up to date, and obviously our local mayors have been so gracious in doing that with us, and we certainly appreciate it. We certainly appreciate you for taking a little bit of time this morning and telling us about it.
Thank you, Chris. Just please come to Mount Pleasant. Give us a shot. We'll have some fun.
We'll take a break here on Mornings on Main Street. Right after this is more Mornings on Main Street from Southern Middle Tennessee.
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Welcome back into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. I'm here this morning at Jayco Hair Cave in Columbia, just across the street from the former Shady Brook Mall, where we have a really unique spot here in Columbia, a great place to get your hair cut. They've got their own products as well, and I was fortunate enough to get a chance to speak with their owner today. So let's take a look inside.
I have been a stylist since 2017. I went to hair school here in Columbia. I worked for a corporation for 4.5 years, and I was a lead stylist, and then I was an assistant manager, and then I managed a location also. I ended up adopting 3 children and fostered my oldest, so I decided that corporate hours weren't for me anymore. I went out on my own, took the risk, and I was super successful in it within a year. And then I realized that other girls that were in the corporate situation just like me, that they deserve to have a family time, that work-life balance too. So that's why I opened the hair cave.
So tell me, what makes this place different from other places?
I think the biggest thing is the kindness. Consistency is a huge thing. You don't get that in a lot of places. So when you go into a barbershop or hair salon, you kind of don't know what you're getting. Here, we're like super particular about who we hire, and everyone must have experience. So we're really, really big on, attention to detail, experience with the stylist, their customer service, like those things are huge here. So I, as the owner, I trust these girls with everything. I know that they're going to treat my clients well, and they're going to do what needs to be done. I wanted something to feel classic but modern at the same time. So I wanted to have the wood and the rustic-y look. Men are kind of simple, and this is a place for everybody, but it's mainly geared towards men. And we just wanted it to be a laid-back environment. A lot of men had requested that they don't necessarily like super fancy. They want to come in on after they worked their blue-collar job with their dirty boots, and that's okay.
In an effort to reach her clientele on every level, recently she launched her own line of beard and hair products.
We launched 3 scents. We have the Big Daddy here, which that's a sandalwood bourbon scent. We have Classic Man, which is like an old-time barbershop scent. Love it, my favorite. And then we have Smooth Talker. It's like a sweet vanilla tobacco scent. And then as of today, this actually just hit the shelf. I just brought it today. This is Playboy. This is our first wash. And that's the scent. So we always do our scents and then, what it is, what it consists of. But yeah, this is our first 3-in-1 that we just released too. So.
Despite opening her salon in Lewisburg, coming to Columbia was not only a no-brainer for her stylist, but also her clients.
So we chose Columbia just because we know it's growing. We've seen a lot of housing and everything go into this area. I also worked in this area before, and I knew that there was a lot of stylists that needed a better career. So that was really one of the major reasons why I opened here.
Find Jayco Hair Cave on Facebook or follow Jayco Beauty on TikTok. Reporting from Columbia, I'm Chris Yow. This is Chris Yow with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo, Patton, and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Welcome back in to Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. We're going to go now to sports, where Maurice Patton and Wade Neely have an update from Main Street Maury and the Pulaski Citizen. We'll start in Maury County with Mo.
Not going to insult John Ward, but it's football time in Tennessee. And this week's Main Street Maury gives you wall-to-wall coverage of week 1, from Columbia Central to Columbia Academy, Mount Pleasant, all of our football teams in our coverage area. We've got recaps, we've got stats, we've got standings with our red zone rundown. So if you want to know anything about high school football in our coverage area, check out today's Main Street Maury. We've also got Mostradamus with his picks for week 2. We've got some volleyball coverage, both of Columbia Central and Columbia Academy's openers and against each other. And of the KD Hope play day that took place this past weekend, we covered Culleoka's season opener as they try to get back to the state tournament for a second straight year. So again, all of that is in the print edition of Main Street Maury. Coming up this week online, Saturday morning, again, we will have coverage of every high school football game that our teams are involved in. So be sure and check that out again on mainstreetmaury.com.
Go now down to Giles County, where Wade Neely is standing by.
Busy week for us here at the Pulaski Citizen, as we have expansive coverage of week 1 in the high school football season. Heartbreak City, as both Giles County and Richland fall by 1 point via a 2-point conversion. Richland goes for 2, goes for the win at home versus Lincoln County, comes up just shy in that 28-27 defeat. Meanwhile, at the Brickyard last Friday, Page and Giles County go to overtime. The Bobcats convert on 4th down, but Page not only converts of their own on 4th down, they go for 2, go for the win, and they rip the Bobcats' hearts out 35-34. 2 nail-biter finishes in week 1 of the high school football season. We have exclusive recaps of those 2 ball games. We also have a UT Southern softball hire to bring you guys in on, as the Firehawks have named a successor for former head coach Tyler Robb. UT Southern and Coach Robb parting ways this past off-season. Also, we have coverage from last Tuesday night's Giles County volleyball opener. The Bobcats dropping a tough one to Cascade to start their season at home. We have art as well as a brief recap of that game in our sports section. We also have complete coverage of middle school football, as it's been a busy week for us here, as both Richland and Giles County at the high school level were in action, but at the middle school level, we had Richland, we had Bridgeforth, and we had South Giles. You can catch words on all of that. Coming up, more of the same. It's right into week 2. We have exclusive coverage of Hardin County versus Giles County on tap. And we also have coverage of Richland versus Cascade. That's been a fun rivalry, Richland and Cascade, the last couple of seasons. Richland got a big win last year, 41-14 on the road up in Wartrace. Cascade, however, won their only meeting between the 2 teams at the Wayne Hobbs Memorial Stadium a couple of years ago. So Friday night's going to be a fun one, folks. We have all of that plus so much more coming your way. And as always, words from Larry Woody. You can read it in print in the Pulaski Citizen, on newsstands now, and .com.
They have always met wildest expectations as far as taking care of my teeth and my health. You know, teeth health is very important now to your heart. And I told him one day, I said, I'd love to have nice teeth and nice hair. And he said, well, I can take care of the teeth, but I can't take care of the hair. And I said, you can make my teeth? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go for it. And he did. And I have been tremendously pleased. Dr. Hart, if you need him at night, he's here. This staff here will take care of you 24/7. You don't have to worry about, I can't get a hold of my dentist, my tooth's hurting. No. They will be here for you. And if I could get Dr. Hart to take that same artistry that he has and grow hair, then he would be double rich.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, this is your weather today.
Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with your Wednesday forecast update. Starting our Wednesday, mostly clear today in the 70s, warming quickly through the 80s toward the lower 90s as we enter the midday hour, and then up into the upper 90s by the afternoon. Barely a cloud in the sky, no rain chances for today. And then we fall back into the 80s during the evening, mid 70s for the overnight hours. Then we do this all over again as we head Thursday into Friday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Upper 90s to near 100 today, near 100 for Thursday and Friday. No rain chances until we get to Saturday and Sunday. A few isolated showers and thunderstorms possible here. And then the heat backs off Sunday into early next week, back into the upper 80s. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. Have a great Wednesday.
And that's going to do it for this edition of Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Once again, I'm Chris Yow. Thanks to my partner, Scott Stewart, down in Pulaski. Of course, Mo and Wade with sports. We hope that you guys will come back with us at 10:30 a.m. next Wednesday right here on Main Street Media TV. Don't forget, download us on your iPhone or Android device. You can also find us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire Stick. So until next time, we'll see you on Main Street Media Television.